mom, everybody. If you haven't seen her, don't know her, this is my mom. She's been here on stream several times before, and we just played a match, and it ended up being 6-4 here. And it was, well, I mean, you destroyed me in so many games. I just was able to flag you in some of them. Did you hear me when I was playing?
No, sometimes, but not, not always. Okay, so...
She heard us.
Okay, this one. Yeah, let's go from the beginning, or beginning. We can go to some critical moment here. Can go with... So, this c3 is not bad at all. And
This is a mistake. I was going to go c4, but I dropped it on c3.
Yes, I played against Hot. This is 86. It was actually on my birthday. I was going to become 23. And he played d4. I used to go knight f6. He played c3 to avoid anything with Volga, anything with c5. And then it was a very exciting game and so on. But he also made c3 like you. So.
Okay, so c3 is not a complete disaster. It could go to London as well.
It normally goes to London, and in that way you avoid things. Okay, of course you can play c5, but then it will be some kind of Slav, and you have a tempo up. But of course, black can go c5 if black wants to. Okay, let's see. But c4, nothing wrong. Let's see what's happened. Yeah, let's go.
Knight f3. Okay, good. Then here, and then I decided to go bishop f4.
Yeah. So now we play very symmetrical, exactly the same. So it was a little bit like copying after some moves we had, because this is the most natural moves to go out with the pieces. So yeah.
Yeah. So I just felt like I had to go there. So then you went c6. And was the reason you didn't go c5 because of the idea that you said that if takes, there's going to be b4?
Yes, now. And now also you have so much control of e5, because sometimes you can go c5, try to get in e5, but with the bishop on f4, the knight on f3. So, and then the bishop is not good on f5, because maybe you will make a jump with knight e4 and you're kicking my bishop. So now c5 doesn't go together with bishop f5. If I wanted to go c5, I have to make it one move earlier and quickly knight c6, and then maybe I wanted to go e6 and c5 and keep my bishop on c8. So with your c3, you make it a little more difficult for me to go c5.
c3 for the win.
Yes, it's nothing wrong with the move. If you like London, this kind of setup, why not?
And I was wondering, because you said that like black could play something to avoid getting into symmetrical position. Why can it be bad to have a symmetrical position? I think that's something that a lot of people might wonder.
Yeah, and you are the one who has the first move.
Yeah.
So you have so normally it should benefit you, because you are the one who
white.
You are white, and you're the one. You will do first one to go out of the symmetrical. I can follow you, but I can't follow you all the time. So this is why. But you can also make a mistake. And then if you're the first one to make a mistake, so then it's okay. But this is a solid setup. So I guess I don't know. I think it's about equal. I think so. It's about equal. So it's nothing wrong to follow. But at some moment we will make different moves. Absolutely.
So bishop e7, castles and castles.
And now we took different rooks I took rook fc8, and it's because sometimes I can go bishop f8, and maybe if you take on b6, I will still take with the a pawn, and I will go b5. So this is why I wanted to go with that rook.
Yeah.
And now you play c4. You wanted to do something, and now I didn't want to go c5 here now. So now, you played c4, and maybe this is fine, actually, because now if I take on c4, what would you take with?
I was going to take with the knight.
Yeah, it is. So I could have taken, but you get your knight, and knight on c4 is so good, because after you can knight to d6, but you also have this knight f5, and with the bishop on f4, exactly what happened in the game, you're attacking b7. So if I take, you should take with the knight. I can take on b3, but you take with the pawn, and you have piece play compensating double pawns. So you have active piece play, and this is what happens sometimes. You take a double pawn, or maybe you take an isolated pawn, but it gives you lots of squares to play on. So it compensated, yeah. So what did I do? I played 94. Yeah, I was a little bit like, what are you going to do here now? This is what I was saying. So you played c5. So I took. And now you took with the knight. This little bit surprised me. You took with the knight, but maybe this is the right move. And I think I make a mistake here. Maybe I should go e5 here.
Yeah, I mean, my idea of taking with the knight was to go. Wait, sorry, it was to go knight a5. That was my only idea.
You know, I have to go a5. I have to stop it. Or yes, a5. I have to go. Yeah, I have to go a5. But I mean, I like to have the pawn on b7, b5. But you cannot attack it now the same way like before.
So I guess I have to go a4 here to stop this pawn from pushing.
So I'm not sure you should go a4. Yeah, maybe you can go a4. Absolutely, you can go a4. But I'm not sure how this is. I probably will go f6 and e5. I think this is the plan for. This is the typical plan. When you have closed the center with c5, I want to break up the center. I want to go e5. So you take on e5, but I will take on c5. And then you see I have lots of these pawns. So... So it's okay. Yeah. So a5 is what I should have played. Maybe I could play also bishop d8, but it seemed a little bit passive. a5 I think I should have played.
Awesome. We're getting a question if rook is always stronger than a bishop. And yeah, I think that depends. A lot of times it's stronger, the rook.
Yes, it depends on, in general, in the end games, because then we get all these open lines. But when there are lots of pieces on the board, then a piece can be stronger. And we have this, you know, when you have a knight in front of the king, and you have a knight on f5, this is Kasparov's office, and you have double pawns. So, and especially Petruccian was very famous for giving an exchange, especially a rook against the knight, to get some positional compensation. And it wasn't always that he got a pawn, just positional. Maybe the pawn structure got damaged, maybe he got a fantastic knight. So it's you can't say always, but if you get to the end games, then it's very, very seldom a knight or a bishop can compensate a rook if you don't have a pawn or something else. You need to have some other compensation, maybe advanced pawn or a rook which is very passive or something. But when you have lots of pieces, then there are much more possibility that you can change. You can give an exchange, and you can have enough compensation for it.
Awesome. Yeah. So in the end games, then yes. In the middle games, it depends.
Yes. In the end games, stay with the rooks. They are so strong in the end games, and that's why we play so many rook end games. It's the most natural end games because you don't have. In the openings and middle game, we don't have chance to change them, so they stay at the board, and then finally they go out. So you play knight d4, and now I play bishop d3, and I think this is probably a mistake. Now come this bishop g4. I think this is a good move.
I just wanted to, well, if I'm gonna be completely honest, when I went bishop g4, I did not immediately see that the rook was hanging. I just knew that my bishop was really active on g4.
Yes.
But after I saw that the rook was hanging, I just thought that I still thought that it was okay. I didn't think it was the end of the world that I had blundered it. But I have to admit that I did blunder my rook on f1.
Yeah, so let's see. I want to see bishop take f1, and then you play this very nice rook take f1, of course, to avoid a knight d3.
Yeah.
So of course this. And now I didn't know what to do here because I wanted to go king f7, but then you go b4, and if I take on d4, you take on c5. All my pieces are hanging. I didn't know. Okay, I can go bishop c3, but you go knight. You
Wait, sorry, here?
Yes, you take here. And if I go with knight take b7 and then knight d6 is coming, everything is hanging here. So you know, your bishops, they're tremendous, and your knight also. So everything is hanging.
You know, I knew that you would be afraid of the bishop here.
Yeah. So I think this was very nicely played. I think you have a very good position here, and also a little bit like it's many pieces hanging, and now you have this. I mean, knight take b7, I cannot avoid. So you went here. And now the threat is take on d7 and take on c5. And you know, rook and pawn against knight and bishop, I said a lot of time, can be stronger if the rook is active. But if you have one rook and bishop and knight, and I have two rooks, then it's so much better for you because the rook is very good with the knight and bishop, and also there's so many weaknesses here. So I cannot. The threat is for you to take on d7 and take my bishop on c5. I have to defend my bishop, so I went bishop b6 here.
Yeah, and then your bishop was really strong in this diagonal.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah, but now you have the bishop pair, and so you took on d8. here.
I thought I had to take the exchange
Yeah,
at
this,
that point.
yes, and now you could play. What did you play? Yeah, you played good rook c1. Now if I go c5, you have bishop e6, and you grab my pawn.
Yeah.
And my bishop on b6 will be like a big pawn also. So I don't want to go c5.
Big pawn bishop.
No, this is a little bit the rule that if it's possible, you have a black square bishop. I like my pawn to be on white square, but I have to be careful that your bishop cannot pick them up. So.
I have to say that I think that I play this game so well, so your analysis of this is making me feel more confident about how I played this game. It's making me really happy. So, rook d8, you just went back and forth, and here I think that we were both just trying to gain more time, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I didn't have time here, yes. And now, rook b2 I think is a little bit, you should just stay. Rook b2 is mistake. Now I'm getting out with my pieces here. Why did I go king f7?
I mean, Mom, we both had 2 seconds left.
Here you can take on e6 and take on g7, and I am in big problems here. Here, you take on e6 and take on e7. So.
Yeah.
So that's why I went this here. I had 2 seconds, yeah. So, and now I had time for this.
Yeah, bishop here.
And now I should go. Now I went rook b8. Is okay.
You went a5.
I went a5.
Because of rook b8, I think you thought that I would go a5.
Yeah, but I go bishop c7. So rook b8 is the normal move here. Rook b8 is absolutely what I should. Rook b8 should play. The pawn is better on a7 than on a5. On a5 it will become weaker. My bishop is also more lows. So this is how I should have played. Okay, you take. I take back with the bishop probably. Yes, I take with the bishop, and then.
I go bishop here. Move this one. I take this one. If knight here, I take this.
But that's the draw.
But that's the draw,
that's
right?
No. You know.
Maybe I can go f4 though.
Let's say I just tell you this position. Take. This here.
This
I go king.
Different color bishop.
Yes, I go king e6. No, this will be a draw. This will be a draw. It will be normally in bishop color different bishop. You need normally to have 2 pawns, or if you can create 2 pass pawns. But I can only see that you can create 1 pass pawn. So sometimes you can have a pawn up. You can even have equal pawns, but you have possibility to create 2, and you need 2. 1 for deflect the bishop and 1 for deflect the kingdom. So, but here, yeah, this should be an easy draw because there's no way for white to go and attack d5. Black can always defend it. So, okay, let's see what happened here.
So bishop c3 was played. Yeah, I should just have gone for that. a5. And then bishop b3 was played here.
Rook b8, I think I played. And now I lost some time here last move, I think.
I went rook b1 and you lost.
And now I want to go bishop c7. This was my idea.
Bishop c7.
And then we played this endgame, so.
And that was that.
That was that. But I thought it was very exciting when you gave it exchange.
I thought so too. I thought that the game was really exciting as well. And I know it may have seemed as if I did this great positional sacrifice of giving away my exchange. I really did blunder my exchange, but it did turn out well, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, and then I won this game on time. But I mean, this last position should be. Maybe I'm a little bit better, but I guess it should end up in a draw, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, guys, chat, be very nice while I'm away for a couple minutes, okay?
So, let's see. Yeah, this is a normal Queen's Gambit. And I play Queen c7. This is a little bit of waiting move. Knight e7. Now I play Rook d1. If I want to be very, very ambitious, I could also go on long castling. But I play Rook d1, and it's a little bit... I want black to take on c4, and then I can get out with my knight. And then I get out, if black take on c4 in 1, now I get out with my bishop. So a little bit of waiting with my bishop. b6, now finally I played it, and if black takes on c4, then I lost the tempo, but it's normal. He's kicking me here, going back. I want to keep the tension, bishop b7, and now castling. Oh, I'm speaking thank you. I'm speaking very low. I hope this will be better. Can you hear me now? So she took, and I took with the knight. I'm not sure. I want to go to the knight e6. And actually, no, knight e6. Now I'm going back. So I could have taken with the bishop, but I guess it would have been more or less the same. And a6. And the idea with a6 is to defend the pawn and then to somehow play c5. But of course, c5 is not possible with the rook on d1. So it's but it's a plan black has, and why my plan is actually to try to avoid black to play c5, and if I could put a piece on c5 or a bishop on b7 would be just so sad. So I play queen e2, and it's because I want to get away from the rook. I don't want to stand on the same line as the rook.
Boom! Here we go! Awesome. Okay, this is the position where we are. So this is... I wish I didn't go to the bathroom at this point. I actually want to know how to play this. Wait, this is a bad moment for me to leave.
You want to go back or
No.
Okay,
I think that this should be fine. Okay.
Queen c7.
I'll rewatch. I'll rewatch the VOD.
So, but this is quite a pleasant position for me. Now I took.
So takes, and I had to take with the queen.
And now I made e4. And now, actually, you can just take on d4. Okay, you can take on d4, but I will play bishop take b5.
I was afraid of bishop take
b5.
Of course. That's why I didn't do that.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't do that because your pawns will be weak. Yes. But so rook f8, and now I play bishop b1. I didn't want it to be hanging. Yeah, and the idea is simply, if you go c5, I wanted to go d5. But I think this is wrong concept for me because you play this very nice e5 move afterward. And I thought I have to go for playing against your king. Because e5 is a nice blocker. It's a nice blocker. But let's see what happened.
I went c5. And so the reason I went c5 was just because I wanted to break the center and open up for the bishop. But yeah, then you play the move that you were talking about, which is d5.
And now comes e5.
I have to go there, I think. Right?
Yeah, you have to.
Otherwise, I just open up too much for you.
Yeah, exactly. And now my bishop is not so happy, not so good. And then I thought I play against your king. So I played this d6 before you have. Your next move now is actually to move your knight somehow. Actually, if you could, you want to put your knight on d6. A knight on d6 is a fantastic blocker. Because with a knight on d6, you were stopping my pawn, you were defending, you could place on c4, b4. It would be like, it would be on the absolutely best square.
Yeah.
There. But okay, it takes a little while to get there. Absolutely.
So d6 was played because I guess you just wanted to destroy my king side, right? You just wanted to take here, so that my whole king side would be destroyed.
Yeah, and this is... You know, in Blitz, this is easier normal to attack than to fan.
So actually, sorry, we're getting a question a lot of times, and I think it's a very valid question. What happens if b4 because your knight is trapped?
My knight is trapped. I didn't know it was trapped.
It's so true. Wait a second, Elemento. You have a very fair point. Let's see what happens if we go b4.
Okay, let's go b4. That. No, I didn't see that. Okay, after b4, we go d6.
I mean, can I just take... but then if I take this...
You take, I will take on e7. So I will... Okay, you can go bishop f8 if you want to try to keep it. But then I go e5.
Okay, what happens if rook takes d6?
Yeah, maybe this is the best way to take it. Okay, I will take on d6. You take it back. And now I want to go... Let's say e5.
I don't know if I can take here.
You take, and then I will probably... What will I take? I haven't decided. Normally I should take on f6. Yes, I take on f6 to keep your king weak, probably. Do I take on f6? I'm not sure.
And then my idea is to go at some point here, maybe.
Yes, but now I queen g4. If you want to do it, you should do it one move earlier. Can you go back?
Yeah.
You should do it one move earlier. That would be better. So I have to force f3. So in this position, you can go queen c6. And here I go f3.
f3 and then
now you can take
here.
Yes, now if you want you can take, and I will take on... I don't know, this is fine for you, I think. Is it fine? Do I take on f6? My next move will be bishop e4 coming.
Yeah. So basically I think that the point is that it's not just winning a piece, basically. Because you have a lot of play there as well.
Yeah, because I have this play in center. Yeah. So and when I start pushing my pawn, I also will get the square for the knight. But I didn't see that. I didn't. That it would be trapped.
I didn't see it either. That's okay. But that was a very good point. So I went e5, and after d6, I mean I still don't have time to go b4, and then we took, and then you took on f6, and this is what we had here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure here which way I should play. What did I do? I played queen h5. Yeah, queen h5 directly.
And then I thought bishop f8 would just hold everything.
Yeah, it was a good move, bishop f8. So, and now I went knight d5. simply, or rook e3 first. What did I go?
You went 95.
95 and queen e6. Yes, you have to keep. You absolutely have to do, because if you open, my bishop will be so strong, so you don't want to take on 5.
And I mean, it was also because after queen e6, I also thought that, I mean, I was preventing any checks on g4.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So I just thought that I wanted to.
And you have this tactical idea with f5. So f5, take on e4 to play against my knight there. So you have counter. Absolutely.
Gotta have some counterplay. So rook e3, and now you're doing the rook lift. You're bringing up the rook, and it's very scary. So I don't really know how to defend. I went bishop g7. I think that I kind of didn't like really know how to save everything and how to do everything.
Yeah, rook g3. Then you have to go king f8, and
yeah, I think I forgot that the king could go this way as well.
And and now I go knight e3, knight f5. I have this Kasparov knight. This is fantastic for me.
Kasparov knight.
I will get it.
Yep.
I'm getting the Kasparov knight here, and I don't. Yeah, so I think it was right decision. I am broken up your king side, and I have, and I get a knight to d5. So
complete disaster for Anna Cramling. That's all I have to say here.
But I didn't do that. I didn't play rook g3, and then you get the chance for f5, which is a good move. And then after, let's see what happened.
I went bishop g7, you went h4, and here I went f5.
Yeah, so there was not time for this slow move. I didn't want to be mated on but I had to keep on putting my pieces in front of the king. And now come this f5. And now all of a sudden, because if I can go rook g3, but then you go f4.
Yeah, that was my idea. I just wanted to push f4.
You go f4, and what do I do then? I go rook g4 or something. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I thought, what have I done? So it was f5. It was wrong to allow you to play this, and that's why I thought I take it. We didn't have so much time here, but after this, I think I'm just. I think it's not. And you took on d5, and down, and now,
I thought that this was good for me now. So rook g3.
Rook g3, I would defend, but you go king f8.
Yeah, I gotta go here. If I go king h8, then my king is always gonna be weaker. So actually, even though you typically like to stay g8, h8, these squares are, I mean, because all of white's pieces are here on the king side, I need to escape as fast as I can. And then queen d7 was played.
Yes.
Bishop takes, queen takes, and then rook g3.
Yes, and here now you should only go, I think.
I went king h7, which was a disaster.
Yes.
I have to go king f8, I guess, right?
Yes, king f8 is the best move.
Just to have the same idea that if f6 takes and queen h6, I always have this idea.
Yes.
With king e7.
Yes, and now and now rook h8 coming, and you take an h4. This is just winning. Your king is so safe there. So you need to put you have to go to the king closer to my pieces where I don't have.
I know, king h7 was horrible. I just completely missed this f6 move. I just completely missed it.
Yeah, now after f6 now. After f6 now, I'm winning. You have to go.
I think you're just winning.
Let's see. You have to go rook g8, but after rook g8, and let's see. No, this is winning. Queen f5 check, king h8, and you take, and queen f6. And that's just
That's just GG. I wish this pawn wasn't here.
Yeah, it would have been better, but. Then I would have played with the pawn up, and we would have gone into the pawn ending with the pawn down. That wouldn't have been so pleasant either.
No, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, but okay, you could have.
This would have been a lot better. But yeah, so yeah, that was just really nice. This whole f6 idea immediately. How you just went f6, and you only had 3 seconds on the clock. You just immediately played f6, but yeah, obviously that was your idea the whole time.
Yes.
Do we have any questions? This was some of the analysis of some of these games. Obviously analyzing 10 games would take way too long, but I thought that we got some great insight from you from these few games, so thanks a lot for wanting to analyze them. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a big thumbs up and also to subscribe. If you ever want to catch me live, go ahead and go to twitch.tv/Anna Cramling. Hope to see you there.